Coming to you straight from the Rio Grande and beyond. Broadcasting to the four corners of the globe. So grab your seat, your coffee, or your sundowner.
Okay, everybody, here we go.
On point, as always. This is Gloves Off. Gloves Off.
Back at you in Gloves Off. I'm Paul Buitrón. I'm here. I have a great guest, which is Joe Brennan, who's running on the Republican side for State Representative District 42, correct?
That is correct. Thank you, Paul.
And thank you for coming back out here. And we've been here before, but I think things have changed now, because before it was just, you still had the primaries, and now it's a main race, which is going to be in November. But let's touch base a little bit. You had an event this past weekend?
Yes, we did. Saturday we had a very nice event we were using the campaign headquarters at 5517 McPherson. We had a nice turnout, had some great music, great food for all the people that came around, and all the supporters. And look forward to moving forward now with the campaign, be a little bit more formal, getting out and meeting the people. This is going to be a hard campaign. We're going to have to get out and really knock door to door, meet people, have small events in different areas of town, talk to people, give them our ideas. We're running on a very conservative platform. We want minimize government. We want people's freedom, especially small business owners, able to run their businesses. These lockdowns we've had the past year or 2 years, to me, those are unethical and bordering on illegal. And they never should have been ordered by any governor or any president for any reason whatsoever. The people in this country are very intelligent people. They built a beautiful republic, starting back in the 1600s, and have moved forward. And we never need the government to tell us what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. We're able to make our own decisions, the proper decisions. In the 1918 pandemic, there were not any great shutdowns or anything like that. People kept on working, and we got through that pandemic. We would have gotten through this pandemic just as well. Our Creator gave us a great immune system that once you start building up antibodies, it will generate its own, and you get the illness. You go through it, and you'll survive, and then you'll have those antibodies move forward. Now there are weak people, their systems are weaker, that probably may not have made it, and they should have been isolated and moved off into a safe area. But the rest of us should have been allowed to work, move forward, keep the economy going, keep employment going. This last shutdown in Texas destroyed many small businesses. People really are suffering now, and it's going to be extremely hard for them to come back. And hopefully they will. There's not a lot that I can do for them personally, but I wish them the best, and I hope they keep that spirit up and keep us going, because that is the strength of the United States. We are a United States here in America. We are a republic, and it's built on the strength of the family, and the local communities and the states build the strength of the United States. We're suffering a massive invasion from the South, and we're also suffering a massive invasion internally with socialist Marxists that are trying to take over our government. And they want the government to control everything in life. They're the exact opposite of what I believe in and stand for. And we need to draw the line, stand the line against that movement, and keep the freedom for everybody. In religion, no churches should ever be told they can't have religious services. No businesses should be told they can't open their doors. People can go in if they want to. If they don't go in because they don't feel safe, that's the person's choice. And that's the business owner's choice. But it's their choice. It's not the government's choice. So, moving forward, we hope to garner enough strength here in Laredo to be elected to the state legislature and work on various bills up there. One of them that we really need to look at, so there's been a lot of conversation about the past couple of years, is election integrity. I'll tell everybody, I do not trust an electronic voting machine. And I believe that every voter that goes to the primary or general election should have the right to a paper ballot when he gets there. I want to make sure that my ballot's marked properly and counted properly. And I'm not so sure that there cannot be miscounting generated electronically within these computerized systems. And other items we have to work on in Austin, we have to minimize the waste in government spending. We have to assure that the taxpayers' money is used in the best and most appropriate ways. And one of the most important things is support the governor and the state and defend the Texas against any invasion or intrusion by foreigners crossing our state lines, in this case from the south. We need immigration. Immigration is good, but it needs to be legal immigration. The biggest problem I have with illegal immigration is not the people coming across that really want to come over here and make a better life for themselves. It's the bad actors that are mixed in with those people. The drug gangs that are sending people across with those people as guides or whatever, bringing drugs through. And there are some of those people actually moving farther north and getting and blending into the larger communities to reinforce the drug gangs in the larger cities. This is not a border problem. This is not a problem for just Texas or Arizona or New Mexico or California. This is a national problem. But Texas is one of the few states that's really taken a stand and trying to protect the rest of the country from this. And I'm here and want to help and support our Republican governor in stopping this influx of illegal immigrants into the country. And I hope we're successful in November, moving forward to be able to help support the constituents of Webb County and Laredo in whatever we can.
You know, you said a bunch of great points, a lot of good points, and number one was the shutdown of the small businesses, and how the small businesses, many of them closed and never opened up, and our leadership was the one that failed us.
Very definitely.
And not only the one here in the city, but also in the state.
Yes.
And that should have never happened. That should have never occurred, but it did. And it continues with that, and they kind of just like brushing it off like if it never happened. So that's where I kind of fall into play with a lot of businesses just around where I'm at. Close, they're not coming back. A lot of dreams, a lot of were shattered, and you see the residual effect, even though some people might say, no, I'm not closing because of COVID, but that's really the main reason why you're closing. And it seems to me that the city of Laredo, as beautiful as it is, it looks, how can I say, dilapidated now more so than ever, and it also looking more like a ghost town, like when Arlington was for a while. The malls were empty, the shopping centers were empty. There was a lot of shopping centers at that one time frame in the early 90s and the late 80s in Arlington, until, if you go now recently, you had a different leadership in Arlington, a different type of command there, and people go for Six Flags and Hurricane Harbor and all that stuff because of the fun things for the kids to do in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
They used to go there for the Rangers as well. And now you have the Cowboys. They removed it from Irving, the stadium, and now they have the one over in Arlington. But so Arlington is moving because it had a positive growth with positive leaders that were caring about Arlington. So now Arlington's a different view. Okay, but Laredo, it's sad because 15, 16 years ago, it was the second fastest growing city in the nation. What happened? And this administration's going on in here did a great number in destroying it. And we need good leaders that understand the importance of small businesses and understand the help that small businesses need more so now than ever. And to sustain, I'm not saying for them to get pay, what have you, but there has to be some help, in which we've seen some come in here and it just has been dissipated into something else that's not there. You know, we've seen how the city, and I'm talking about Laredo in general, because that's going to be your main. It's going to be the only city that's a main focus point. I mean, you talked about the invasion that we have across of illegals that are coming abroad. How now they want to spend $1 billion on a international walkway that's you can walk across anytime you want and come back anytime you want. A park that you can ride your bike across and come back. And listen, those times are long gone in Mexico. I remember the time that we used to walk across the bridge, go eat over there and come back, or drive across, or get some groceries or get an order of food because your mom asked you. You used to go drive across and come back. Nothing ever happened. I remember those days. But right now it's not that. I don't know where they're coming from. We're in the middle of a drug war. And they seem like if it's nonchalant, say that nothing's happening. I don't know where their mindset or what bubble they're in, but that exists. I mean, we're in Hillside, and you can hear the machine gun fire from across the river. And in the middle of the night, everything was quiet. You can hear it, and people say, "No, you can't." Yes, you can. We're not that far away.
No, we're not.
We're literally 3 miles away. You can hear those machine gun fires.
Yeah.
And people say, well, no, you couldn't, and they're $1 billion on a park. All these things, let's say you get voted in and you're in there, all those things are going to be thrown in your lap. They're going to ask for funding from the state about, they can't open up another bridge, but yet they're going to have international bike trails that you can go without anybody getting checked. I mean, where do they live?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're smoking or what they're drinking, or where they're at, but that's incredibly insane.
It's what I call a beautiful idea. It'd be nice, but we have other more critical issues right now in Laredo. One of them is that I talk about quite a bit is the water system.
Absolutely.
We have to fix it. It's almost criminal that a city the size of Laredo in 2022 issues water boil orders because the drinking water is not safe. That's unnecessary. It's great. It should never happen. In with the technology that exists today, for purification of water, for filtering of water, if the system's properly maintained, that should never happen. Something happened, and I'm not saying it's 100% Laredo's fault, because our source of water is highly contaminated to start with. The river, where we get most of our water right now, almost all of our water right now, starts up in Colorado, comes down. It's used in New Mexico. It's used in El Paso, which is a very large city, 1.5 million or something like that on the U.S. side, and close to 5 million on the Mexican side. They all draw that water out, and then they put it back in the river, send it on down to Presidio, to Del Rio, and then Piedras Negras, and finally gets to us. So how many people have used that water and put it back in the river secondhand before it gets to us? We cannot continue living like that. We have to bring water, fresh water in from someplace. We have water just 20 miles east of us. The Edwards Aquifer reaches down here. Can we tap that? There's other water south of the Edwards Aquifer that people are reluctant to tap into. The ranchers use it, but it needs to be filtered properly. It can be used. And with the new filtering systems are today, there's absolutely no reason why we can't use that water for the Laredo system. There's a project, they've talked about a project possibly bringing water from up around Carrizo Springs down. May have to go that far, I don't know, but the Texas State Water Board should be able to help Laredo with those projects. And that will be one thing we do need to work on. It's extremely important for Laredo. We get good fresh water for Laredo. Laredo's going to continue growing. I'm going to help it continue growing as however I can. It was a very dynamic economy. It still is. Our transportation and customs brokerage and freight forwarding business is probably 95% of our economy right now. We have to support that. And it's going to take more drivers, it's going to take more workers in the warehouses, it's going to take more people. And for the city to grow more, we have to have good water. We have to have, the land has to be opened up for the people to be able to build affordable housing for them. And we have plenty of land around here. We just have to put it to right uses. But in support of the economy going forward, the other thing we have to look at is also the educational system. Our local school boards, there's, if you look at the Texas Education Code, they call for vocational training at the secondary level. We need more of that. There's way too much emphasis put on the students in high school being almost indoctrinated that they have to go to college. No, they don't. A 16-year-old has a very sharp, a very open mind. It's like a sponge. If you give them the information, they'll absorb it. A lot of these kids that are in school today that really aren't happy is because they're not learning what they want to do. A lot of them are what we call manual learners. They learn better working with their hands. That's what they used to have in the old shop classes and the old science laboratory classes and things like that. That stuff needs to be brought back. Not everybody can learn off a laptop or a computer. Punching a keyboard isn't going to teach an awful lot. You need to actually be doing things, touching, feeling, reading, touching, feeling, experiencing what you're reading about, doing experiments, building things. That's how these young people work. And if you go back in the 50s, when the economy in the United States was built and became so great, almost every high school system in the United States, at least in the Midwest, the East, and even out west in California and Washington, they had a vocational high school where the kids went there and they learned a skilled trades: sheet metal, welding, machining, baking, secretarial school for the girls that wanted to, were so inclined. And when those kids came out of high school, they were ready to be employed. If we can bring up the level of our students graduating from our local high schools, I'm sure we can bring some industry into town. We have very little right now. There's a tube rolling operation here. They do a nice company. Don't employ a lot of people, but it's a good, strong business, healthy, and it pays a good wage. People working in skilled trades today, most of them are making $20, $25, $30 an hour versus the $10, $12 an hour they might be able to make working at a McDonald's or a Whataburger or in a local retail operation. Manufacturing, I've heard so many Democrats talk about low-paid manufacturing jobs. I've got news for you. The middle class in the United States was built on manufacturing, and those high-paid manufacturing jobs of people, the engineers, the laboratory technicians, the quality control technicians, even the operators, the operators on the floor, they made higher wages. Most of their wages were double what anybody in the service industry does. The service industry is not a wealth building industry. It takes manufacturing where you're making tangible goods to build a good, strong economy. And that's what we need more of here in Laredo to support. And there's a lot of things that we manufacture here, fed to the plants down south, brought back for assembly, or we can actually make the entire unit here. But Laredo is a good point. We have beautiful highways coming in here, great highways. We're talking about building another interstate highway, 27, that will more or less follow 83, the path of 83. That'll open up more truck routes up into the northwest, also cut the travel time from California into Laredo, and we can get more traffic in and out of here. And so we are a good focal point for growth of industry, manufacturing, as well as the truck brokerage system.
And no, that's what needs to be brought here, and that's what needs to be sparked now if Laredo's going to stay.
Yes, It's,
You know, we're in the fork of the road. I believe,
Very
and
much
so many other people believe the same thing. We're in the fork of the road that Laredo's either going to go up or Laredo's going to go down, and other border towns know that, and believe me, they're very vicious, and they're taking our industries and they're taking our businesses, and they're doing that a lot better because it's something that the whole Laredo, all the different vocations need to understand it. They all have to work together. The real estate, you know, we were talking about earlier. They have to stop being as stingy as they are and as greedy as they are, and start helping small businesses grow instead of not allowing that. You know, because they have the power to do so, and they have to start being more lenient about a small business opening up right now and saying, you know what, I'm going to be there I'll sign a 5-year lease, but give me 3 months to start up rent or what have you. They don't do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, or you rent the place that you have to build out, and they start charging you the rent right then. Let's build it out, and once it passes all the inspections and everything, start charging me rent. Things like that have to happen, and our real estate industry is not doing that. So it's going to take a lot of different people to come together and literally put this together as, I hate to use this, as a new vision for Laredo. Instead of having people that believe having an international park that you can walk across anytime you want with your bike and your skateboard, and nothing's going to happen to you, and nobody that is doing something wrong is going to use it. I mean, get serious. You know, let's start looking for the reality of things, and not the dreams, because there's a lot of pretty dreams, but they're what it is, dreams. Yeah. And let's get back into.
We have a lot of things to do in Laredo.
Yeah.
We really do, and Laredo is a beautiful city. I think I've lived in 3 different areas along the U.S.-Mexico border. Besides living just 120 miles outside of Chicago, I grew up, and I've had a good life. The United States has been very good to me, been good to my family, and I really enjoyed, and in my opinion, and I'm not bashful about this, between Brownsville and Tijuana, Mexico, the best place to live along the U.S.-Mexico border is Laredo, Texas. It is the closest point, travel point to anywhere in the United States of any of the border towns. It's exactly almost halfway between Laredo, the distance from Laredo to Los Angeles, the distance from Laredo to almost New York is the same. That's why the trucking industry likes to work out of here, because their travel time is reduced greatly. So you know, and the weather's beautiful here. We have right now we're going to be 85 or 86 today or something like that. In April, when the town I grew up in is going to have snow flurries. I mean, we're in April and beautiful 85-degree weather here. It's not extremely humid, not extremely dry here. So it is a great place to live. We're only 2.5 hours from San Antonio, 3.5 hours from Austin, which are good metropolitan areas. You can be in Houston, driving Houston 5.5 hours without a lot of trouble. So we're not isolated, but unfortunately people in other parts of the country, when you mention Laredo, it's Laredo. You know, the streets of Laredo is now where gunfights take place and things like that. They don't think this is a safe place. This is a good, safe place. We need to keep it that way, and we need to promote Laredo more from the state. You know, I will be looking around while I'm out there outside of Laredo, working up in the Austin area, trying to look for people that might be interested in coming down here and putting businesses here. Help the local chambers promote Laredo more. The Economic Development Council, they need help. They need to reach out more, north and south, but especially north. There's a lot of things in the United States that get brought down here.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, and we have to gain people here. And for those of you guys that are running, it's Laredo first, and it's Laredo first, the United States, then anything else comes in after that. That's the way it should be. And it's not Mexico first, elect me to represent Laredo, but Mexico comes first. And that we have to stop that. I'm sorry to tell you, Mexico is our neighbors, but they're bad neighbors right now at this point in time. And I'm not talking about the beautiful people of Mexico. I'm talking about more the government as it is. And that's my opinion on that. But other than that, if folks want to get together with you, where's your headquarters again?
5517 McPherson, Suite 18. We're there from 8 in the morning to 5 days a week. I can be reached on Facebook, and you can reach me, follow me on Facebook. My phone number is 956-490-6714. That's my cell phone. It's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And would like to hear from anybody who'd like to talk to me. Good, bad, or ugly. I'm open to conversation.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to have to be. That's where you're at now. So
you know, when you get into this game, you have to be open. I do like to talk to people. I like to hear everybody's ideas. May not agree with me, but let's talk about it. You know, I have an open mind.
Absolutely.
I really want to help Laredo. There are people, there are politicians that go to Austin, Washington, to and supposedly represent their constituents, and more of the idea of special interest groups. I do have one special interest group I'm going to represent. It's 320,000 people live in Webb County, especially my district of Laredo. But I'm here in Laredo, and Webb County are synonymous. It's one and the same anymore. We depend on each other. We need to work closer together, and that'll be one of my goals. But I will only be representing the people of Laredo, only what's best for Laredo and Webb County. If it's not for good Laredo and Webb County, it's not going to get my support.
Absolutely. And as we were talking before, and you asked, we will be having folks out there. We will be having debates. We're looking forward to having one, either the latter part of September, or the first part of October. It'll be a little bit different. We're going to have it. We'll be live now that COVID and everything else is out of the way, but we will have it in front of people.
Look forward to it. I look forward to having discussions with my counterpart, Richard Raymond. But I would look forward to having this good open discussion with him in front of the camera.
Absolutely. And folks, we're going to leave you with this. You all stay safe, and be well. Till next time, much peace.
Thank you.
Today, in America, more than 5.5 million men, women, and children train in a martial art regularly. Buitrón Academy has been serving Laredo for over 30 years now. Our youth classes help kids build respect, self-control, discipline, and focus. This will teach them how to deal with bullies and peer pressure.
Hello, my name is Sandra Gonzalez, and
I'm Alessandro Chacon.
we're here at Buitrón Academy. I chose this school because my son already is going to middle school, and I wanted for him to be already prepared for any type of bullying at school, and also for discipline. And I think that this academy is great for that, and it's been showing in him, because actually he's getting better at it, and he feels in his heart that this is what he really likes. The academy has capoeira, sabat, and kempo, so he really likes all the classes, and I really recommend it. It's been great.
Buitrón Academy. Give us a call for your free evaluation at 956-401-4868. Check out the website at savat.biz and follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Come train at the best kept secret of Laredo.